Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Lovely. So good to hear your voice, and it's a lovely morning. Well, I would like to request all people sitting at the back out there to kindly come to the front, and the first person who comes to the front is going to get a gift. The first person who's going to come to the front here and take a seat in the front is going to get a gift. The ones from the back. Ones from the back. Last row, the first person who comes in, you're going to raise your hand once you've reached your place. Okay, here, we've got one gentleman here. Shreyashi, we have got him. He came in first. Yes, he's raised his hands. So we are in for big surprises today. So if you're not going to come to the front, then we are not going to have those surprises coming for you. You can please fill up the seats in front. And who knows, Shreyashi might decide that she will give more gifts. Yes, the last ones, please come to the front. Wonderful. So we've got pretty much filled up. The front seats are almost filled up. Shreyashi might decide to give a couple of gifts. So we are going to start, but before that, how many of you have been posting pictures on social media? How many of you have been posting? Great! Give yourselves a round of applause, please. Lovely. So we are going to see those pictures. We're going to like them. We're going to comment on your pictures and keep posting them even today, because today is another very vibrant third day that we have of INFOCOM KOLKATA 2024. And this event, this 3-day event, just got bigger and brighter and grander. So you can see that you are in one of the most grandest events of the year 2024. That's the INFOCOM KAL 2024. Like we always keep saying, we are present on Facebook as INFOCOM Connect. Do like us. On X, we are there as INFOCOM Connect. And use your hashtags to link with us. We are also on LinkedIn as ABP INFOCOM. So you have to be constantly giving your pictures, because I always keep saying that photo is the motto. When we keep saying this, then what happens? My husband always keeps asking me, why do you post so many pictures? I say that when you grow old and you are going to be 100 years old and you're going to be looking through my social media and you're going to say, wow, this person was really vibrant. Wow, this person has posted so many pictures, and I did not. So he's a very camera shy person, you see. So let's not be camera shy. Let's post our pictures on social media. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. Last evening, did you have a great time? All of you? I missed all of you so much because I was not well, but that does not matter at all, because I am someone who keeps dancing everywhere. So you'll probably catch me dancing in one of these places here as well if the music is good and it catches me. So I'm going to be dancing around that time as well. So I'm sure all of you had a great time. So we will be starting off with the keynote. We start off with the first keynote, that is Embracing AI, Navigating the Future of Business, and our speaker is Mr. Prashant Garg. He's a partner of Data and AI Ernst & Young. So may I request Mr. Prashant Garg to kindly come on stage and share his views, his stories, his information with us, so that we can take home a lot for when the day ends. So here is Mr. Prashant Garg. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Prashant Garg. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? Yeah, that's good. So I've got a job to talk about AI. Just to give you, so I run the business around data and AI for the firm. Interestingly, as all big fours are, I'm also an accountant who does AI. So at times I ask myself why I'm doing so. But as the career progressed, I learned this is more exciting than being an accountant. And that's how I've changed and transformed in the last 20 odd years since I've been working, from being an accountant to being someone who focuses on more tech-led transformation. And so I'll talk about AI. And the last year when I came and Raki got me here, I spoke more deep tech. I spoke about how LLMs work, how things, how all these transformations can be achieved using the deep science behind AI. If you don't mind, can you stop clicking photos? It's just distracting me too much. Okay. But today I'll talk about experiences. For the last 18 months or so since I've been working on this, I have been able to deliver few nice engagements for our customers here in India, some work in progress. But in the process, what has happened is I've learned a lot about how adoption works really. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to use the word agentic workflow quite often. So I'm going to talk about how market is there, what's the solution approach, the agentic workflow approach. And then I'm going to talk about just one slide about EY. Can't live without talking about EY. Yeah. So why AI? I think we all know. Huge investment. We are looking at about $1 trillion being created as GDP with AI by 2033. Almost 70% CEOs believe that they are going to act on AI and Gen AI now to really transform their businesses. Okay. But it is also creating a very divided narrative. Who all has invested in NVIDIA? Has anyone invested in NVIDIA? Any hands up? There is only one friend there at the back. I also invested in NVIDIA, and I would say it has, since I invested, it has almost trebled since then. So investing in NVIDIA has paid rich dividend. It has become, I think, the second most valued company on earth now. But on the other side, people who have started investing in AI or Gen AI are saying the benefit that we are getting is very little. In this group, I'm sure you must have also tried your hands with AI, Gen AI, and some would have understood how it works, some would not have. Some would have spent a significant amount of money getting transformation with AI. There would be some benefits, and some would have said, oh, it's not giving me what I want to get. And that's the truth, because the way to implement or way to utilize depends on the use cases, and there's a technique that I've learned over a period of time, which I believe is the way we will be able to use AI and Gen AI better in our organizations, in our daily processes, and how it works. Okay. Have you understood how LLMs work? We all have a large language model or a small language model working on our mobile phones. So if you have your WhatsApp handy with you, just type in I want to, just type in a message to anyone and say write I want to, and then keep clicking the first word that appears in the 3 selections. Keep clicking that. A story would get created, and that's the small language model. What it is doing is essentially learning from you and relaying back what you would have chosen as the next word all the time. Your mobile phone has a small language model working for you. This expanded to a larger scale allows us to get back answers at scale. So instead of recommending the next word only, it can recommend full sentences, it can recommend full narratives altogether, and that's what the large language model does for us. Okay. What's the opportunity? Efficiency benefits. I hope that all of you will believe that there is efficiency benefit, and I've seen a lot of efficiency coming in. There was a fear about job losses, but I believe job losses will be counterbalanced by new roles that will get created, and there will be significant investments coming our way in this. So anyone who is going to use AI in their lives, either they are going to be people who will create AI solutions or people who will use AI solutions. They will be far better than people who will not use AI solutions. There are 2-3 concerns that people have around AI. One is trustworthiness of AI ML. The other is trust challenges and potential errors. And the third is we do not have sufficient talent and skills in the market to use AI. Just before we started the session, I was talking to a gentleman, and he was talking about, I'm not sure whether this is safe or not. I think that's another area which will all have to focus on to get get use of AI more safe in our environments. Okay. As I've seen the implementations happening, people adopting AI, there is a bit of a learning that I had, and I will talk through my own learnings of what I have seen clients really stumbling upon, or customers at my end and large corporates stumbling upon when they start using AI, is we just simply start from how should we get AI in place? Is it a simple product that I buy from a startup and start using it? Or should I set up a AI factory in my organization? Should I set up a AI ops in my organization which will manage and run all AI applications at one place? How would I keep it secure? What is the right setup security that I need? The next thing is, where will I get the data to support AI? Because AI works on your data. If you do not have data, it doesn't work. And then data has a second parallel, is that there is data which was kept in tables and structures. And then the next thing is, the larger data set which AI utilizes is not the data that is kept in tables and structured databases. It is the data which is kept in your documents, in your emails, in your in the images which the organization stores. So all the data that is kept in unstructured formats in places which we didn't even refer to as data in the past, like your emails, your chat, your documents, Word documents, PDF documents, etc., your PowerPoint files, is the key which produces the right information for us to use AI in our day-to-day functioning, because that's what we use on a day-to-day basis to transform processes. And that's what AI does well when it starts using data. Just using structured data may not be as helpful to drive AI, Gen AI solutions. It's a combination of structured and unstructured data coming together which makes all the difference. Okay. Now I'll talk about how can we transform. Okay. So, 4 kinds of values that AI can create. One is, of course, customer value, then people value, and of course it will help improve our environmental and social impact that we are creating, and then most importantly, financial value. We can do things with better speed, much more speed, with better rigor, and it will create cost-effective solutions, lower the cost of delivery, and allow us to do things faster, better, and cheaper. A simple example could be that if there is a bank which has a website which needs transformation for customer needs, almost every time a customer journey changes, banks' websites don't have a change coming in 2-3 years' time. They always happen once in a while, and then the website is stale, idle, and you are using the same web page forever, even though the customer needs have changed. With AI and AI leading your websites, you can bring a transformed website for the use of customer almost every month. You can almost offer a new looking web page for a customer to deliver their journey almost every month, versus waiting for a 3-year journey before a new website will be created and given to the customer. So that kind of transformational change that can happen. People value, I think the biggest and the most important value that we'll have for people is being able to absorb AI as a primary skill for their future growth. If I see the future, all the school kids who will join the jobs in the market in the future will have some basic skill around using coding in Python, knowing how to work with AI solutions. And when they will join the industry and they will see processes are AI enabled, they will be more effective in delivering the same thing better with lesser output. Now, one thing that changes with that is that the initial space that we offered people to do the learning job. So anyone who started a job would spend 5-6 years learning how to do the job before they became managers and lead the processes. In the new age, the processes will be led by AI, and managers will start from the day when the job starts. So our education curriculum and our people will also have to undergo a change, that when they start their job, they are already understanding the processes and they are ready to allow AI to run their job, but they manage the AI engines on their behalf. So they manage the AI engines, but they allow AI to do their jobs. Earlier we used to do our job. Currently what we do is we do our job and then learn it over 5-6 years, and then we reach a place where we start managing it. That's going to change. Okay. Now I'll talk about a different solution approach that I've seen, and I'll talk it through examples. Okay. Has anyone heard about agentic workflows? A quiet room, which means no one has heard about agentic workflows, but I'll talk about how agentic workflows work. Just simple example. It's a very simple one. What could happen in 12 to 18 months time? So everyone would have gone to ChatGPT and said, help me answer where all I should travel for my holiday in Italy this year. So that will come with a very proper answer saying, if you want to go to Italy, these are the places to go, this is the travel path you should take. If you have a 7-day journey plan, it will create a journey path for you and give it to you. But that's just one answer against one question. What you really need is not just that answer that where all you should travel in Italy, but it should also be able to say what flights you should take, what is the right time to travel, which hotels you should stay. And the next step is be able to link the workflow of booking flights, booking hotel tickets, booking taxis, or buying tickets on trains for you automatically. Okay. And if you are able to stitch this journey together, so in this case what I've said is, hey agent, please rebook my next work trip so that I get home sooner, but still have ample time to fulfill all meetings scheduled on this trip. I'm flexible on the parameters except price, adhere to my company's travel expense policy. So now I've given quite a few things. I've said, bring me home back, take care of my work trip, ensure I meet all the meetings, don't spend money beyond what my firm allows me to spend, and do this all for me. What is the expectation I will have? It should work like my assistant who goes about taking care of everything. So if this message is sent 5 days before I was due to travel, it will go about accessing all the key travel websites or travel pages, raising a travel request, putting up a lodging request, identifying the right trips, looking at my calendar, and start booking my ticket. And on the day 0 when I have to travel, it will give me a nudge saying it's time for you to travel, get a taxi, book a taxi for me so that I can do all the journey. So being able to connect the whole process flow is what I call as agentic workflow. Now when we use generative AI, we can perform each of these steps individually and get responses for them individually. But if I want this done all together in a single workflow, it requires me to create multiple independent questions being asked which are relatable to each other but are strung together in a workflow. So if I am able to strung together a series of events in a workflow and get them processed using AI, this is what we call as agentic workflows, and this is what leads to a digital flip. Okay. And that's what the transformation in a business process would also look like. While I spoke about a very simple example of a travel journey that I'm going to do, being able to connect this in an office environment will really transform the process for the organization as well. Okay. What really we want to do is a digital flip, and digital flip will mean flipping from people executing processes with data powered by technology. Okay. See right here, people executing processes presented with data powered by technology to AI processing, AI powered data executing processes managed by people. And that's what I started by saying is the work we used to do with the help of data and technology is going to flip. The work will be done by AI or the technology with the data managed by me. So we will become managers of AI solutions. So if we are able to drive the agentic workflows in a fashion that they can execute the end-to-end process flow for me, and I'm able to run this without having any interference to the process, but I can control the workflow, then I'm in the right direction of using AI in my organization. I'll give you a simple example of how this can be achieved. I'll come back to this slide. So there's a watchmaker in the US who has implemented this as a solution statement to design their new watches. And how it is working is that when a user gives an input, it gets an API call. It goes through a diffusion engine which produces images of watches that they can that the user wants, and from there a AI generated image is sent back to the user, and user gets an image which makes sense for them. Now this leads to two things. One is they are able to give the user experience of the watch they want to see, rather than generally a big browse list of all the watches that they have in their brochure, but allow them to selected watches to be seen by the user. Also gives a feedback of what kind of watches users are ready to buy. Their buyers are looking to buy, which feeds back into the design development of getting watches done. So this is Fossil, and Fossil's website is now AI enabled in helping you search for watches through this automated search using generative AI, but also feedback loop is getting generated back to the design team, which says this is the kind of watches people are looking for. So they are not going about designing watches generally, but they are designing watches with the feedback that users they are getting on the website from thousands of users. So collective intelligence of customers is driving the behavior of how the watches will get designed in the future. Okay, so that's again a flow, end-to-end flow integrated using AI at all ends. Yeah, which was earlier done using a digital agent, but that digital agent was limited to providing a website access where you can browse through products and perform a buy or a buy transaction on the web page. Okay, how it is different than building use cases in RPA. So when we used to do RPA, RPA was very focused on solving each use case at a time, but AI works on patterns. And now this is interesting because when we talk about pattern, there are only few things that AI will do for us. One is summarization and classification. The other is identifying insight. Insight could be constrained or unconstrained. It could do translations for us. It could do composition and drafting. It can do, it can advise us, and advice could come both as reactive advice or proactive advice, which means either can be a co-pilot or it could be a advisor. And then there would be a next thing coming up, which will be autopilot. Once we become comfortable co-pilot, then AI will become autopilot, which means I know the AI response I would like. I would not even wait to read it. I'll just say your advice, well accepted, just put it in the process and move forward. And on the technical side, we have some very basic things like we have got retrieval augmented generation, knowledge graph, and a few other things. All put together, these are the various patterns of how to use AI. And when each of them put together in a process flow, helps me deliver use cases. So I am no more configuring individual use cases end to end, but I am taking all these patterns and putting these patterns in a process flow or a workflow to solve a individual need of a process, which means my ability to transform, automate and simplify processes using AI will only enhance as time will progress. Okay. 6 key strategic initiatives that I believe we need to implement for a successful approach to AI. One is establish AI's control tower. Why we need a control tower? Very simply, AI is a complex engine. We will have ML ops running, we'll have AI ops running. Within that, we'll have to run a FinOps. Why we need FinOps? Because this is not simple things, they are costly, impactful things which we need to utilize. You will have multiple hyperscalers working for you. You will have several large language models in play. You will have different app services component. You will have Kubernetes working for you. And each of these things have a significant cost and control that you require. And how do you get that control? You set up a control tower which allows you to bring all these components and see how they are functioning. And this control tower will allow all your different AI applications to work seamlessly in your organization. If you do not do so, then what we will end up having? We will end up having a world like Excel. What a world like Excel looks like? Multiple files kept on everyone's laptop, and each laptop processing that file differently, and confusion. So what we don't want with AI is we do not want AI to run on everyone's individual laptop differently. We want AI to run in processes simplified in a fashion that helps the organization rather than being used to write emails only. Okay. So having a control tower will establish a method of working within the organization to use AI. Okay. The next thing we want to do is reimagine business models and functions. So a lot of initial exercise that I did when I went to customers talking about AI was very old school. As is process, to be process. When I have taken as is process, I'll design a to be process, and I'll now say, let me fit AI into the new process, which I initially found was not working, because when I designed from as is to be, I was still thinking how a human being will do the process. I was not thinking how this process will be driven when a technology delivers the process, how AI will deliver the process. So the reimagining business model and functions will be focused on rethinking the processes with the very clear view that technology will run the process managed by humans rather than manage the processes run by humans with technology. So that key change of reimagining, which means to be processes are defined with technology in mind as the key player rather than people as a key player. The next thing is, all the CISOs sitting in the room, is get the right confidence. If you are not confident about AI in your organization, most likely you will not use it. Most likely the trustworthiness, the risk around security, the guardrails that exist or don't exist will baffle, and people will say there is hallucinations, the data may leak on internet, we might have a reputation risk associated, so we'll keep away from it. So building confidence in AI and having the right responsible AI guardrails built in your organization is the key. The next step is having the right talent in your organization. So retraining our existing workforce with the right AI or Gen AI skills, and also hiring the next gen workforce with the deep expertise of AI will be key to transforming, because 10 years down the line, most of us will be AI trained. AI will be our second language. We will all be able to use AI in our day-to-day work, and the existing workforce, which largely is Microsoft Office expert, would not be as much in demand as what it will be in 10 years time. The next interesting thing will be alliances. Why alliances? Because no one has the best AI solution that does everything. So for us to survive and do well, we'll have to build more relationships with someone who is doing image AI, someone who is doing audio AI, someone who is doing language model AI, someone who is doing complex mathematical algorithm based solutions. So bringing that right alliance ecosystem and bringing them back into our AI control tower so we can run and manage them well will be key to achieving the best of the breed and bringing them in our organization to successfully use AI in our organization. And the last and the most important is data maturity. So from having databases store data, which is primarily kept in different data sources or data lakes across the organization, which are either siloed or at one place, which is largely focused on, I would say, structured data, to being able to have all our unstructured information available to the AI systems through our data management process will be key to success. And that's, in my belief, is the way to go for us to succeed with AI. Yeah. And this is a research that EY did along with Oxford, and I would get to see how much this is successful, but the research says that building the right emotional quotient with people in your organization around solutions would only lead to AI-led transformation. If you simply want AI transformation to happen as a technology change, it may not succeed. I think, and it is rightly said that if we bring the right emotional quotient or a human element as we transform with AI, we will be more successful. Yeah. I'll just leave this. What are we doing at EY? I think what we have done at EY is we have been our client zero. We have been working on EY for several years. Of the 400,000 employees that we have worldwide, 160,000 of us use AI almost daily. We've got across the globe 600 plus EY.AI champions. Largest portion of that sits in India. We got 300 plus applications of GenAI working within the organization. Our adoption is as high as 43%. 50,000 people have gained different levels of AI badges. Over 100,000 people have been trained or skilled on AI, and we continue to increase this, improve this, such that our employee experience of AI is at an all-time high. So our investment in ensuring that we are client zero of ourselves in using AI is really paying rich dividends to us. Yeah. I'll just stop here. I've got 2 minutes to go. If there is any question that I can answer, very happy to answer. Any questions? Yes, please.
Hi, my name is Harry. I represent Cogent Hub. We are a contact center. So my question is, with AI coming and transformation which is happening here, so are there any how to reduce the knowledge gap? You spoke about education and changes in education which are required. So what's the direction or what advice will there be for the educational institutions? Like what kind of industry-led courses or industry-ready courses should be there so that the next generation which is coming is industry-ready or AI-ready?
So last week I was working on a response to a government RFP, not Indian government but different government, of how to train 5,000 new people who will be working for the government with AI skilling. So we drafted a simple curriculum of what a simple training would look like for people to be AI novice to become AI ready in the for the government. We created a curriculum which would be about 8 different courses taught over a period of 2 months with 6 hours of curriculum every day. But I think the most important thing I felt was just simply having people learn basic skills around Python scripting is a very the first most important step for people to know how to use AI in the future, and then just getting them to understand how AI works or how LLMs get trained, what is vector databases, how RAG or retrieval augmented generation works will be a good first step for anyone to really become aware of how AI is. Now the good thing about AI is that when we spoke about AI, say 15 years ago when I was working at IBM, it was Watson and Watson everywhere. And Watson was that one complex thing which was done by the IBM software labs only. Everyone outside of the software labs didn't understand it. And it was too complex for people outside of that group to understand. Now when we look at AI has been made extremely simple for general public to consume, which means you do not need to know how machine learning code is written, or you do not need to know how a vector database is created, or a large language model is trained. That's still very much available for labs to do. But the output of that is available for us to utilize. And the learning how to utilize AI is key for an organization to succeed, and if we can impart that knowledge to our existing folks, will be very helpful for them to start utilizing AI in their organization. My time is up. Yeah, please go ahead. Last question.
So can we ask this question offline because we're really running short of time?
I'll come to
Hello?
you.
Yeah,
I'll come
it's
to you
ready.
and answer.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Dr. Ray Raj. I'm the CEO of Adakshar Laboratories, based out of San Francisco, California, Austin, Texas, and Kolkata, also known as A Labs. Following what he said, Harry said, my good friend, it's a fantastic point, and your presentation was awesome, by the way. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, as you mentioned, there is a need to bridge the gap between what industry needs, I'll put it in a little more meticulous manner, what industry needs and what university teaches, right? So, I believe that's a major area, and with that focus, my mother established the company. It's a senior citizen Indian woman, ex-teacher, Adakshar Laboratories, A Labs, just to fill up those gaps, especially for remote and suburban and rural students who get training in computer science and all, but industry, for example, as you said, Python, for example, if some company says, do you know Angular? Do you know Node? Do you have any background in, say, Rust or Solidity, or for that matter, Python? With that goal, we started the journey. And I'm very glad that another person also mentioned that we have been quite successful in doing so. Today, we are a full-blown digital innovation and transformation house. We offer solutions in those areas, but we haven't forgot our connections to academia, students. Now we work with academic institutions. I just thought to let you know that I'm very glad that you are talking about that subject. I think that's a very important thing. We started 10 years back, and we are really excited about it. Thank you so much.
I would just say we should meet separately, and I can see how we can work, or EY and you can work.
I'll be more than happy, sir. After this, you'll be around?
I'm here.
talk.
I'm here.
Thank you so much.
I'll walk
Thank
up
you.
and sit with you.
Thank you so much,
you.
sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So we request you to remain on stage, please. And I'll request Mr. K.K. Mahapatra, Head INFOCOM, to kindly come forward and present a memento to Mr. Prashant Garg, Partner, Data and AI, Ernst & Young. So if you can go to the middle. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us, sir, and all that information, valuable, invaluable information. Thank you. We request you to take your seat in the auditorium, and thank you, Mr. K.K. Mahapatra.